everybody and welcome back to the Metal Scrapper channel. Today something a little bit different than casting. I want to explain something about my casting sand I'm using. The sand I use is called Brussels Earth, or in Dutch Brusselse Aarde. I bought it from a site where they also supply stuff, like statues, bronze castings, stuff like that. It's an art supplier. And the sand I use is a very fine, just if you buy it new in the bag, it's almost like a dust. So it's very good to make great details. I bought this sand in bags of 25 kilos. That's around 45 pounds. I bought 2 bags of them. So if you can see this batch, it's around 25 kilos. And I have a second batch, almost 25 kilos. So got 50 kilos or let's say 90 pounds of casting sand. You can also make it yourself. There are different videos on YouTube how to make your own casting sand with very fine sand and bentonite clay. I purchased this from the art supplier. This cost me, with shipping cost, around 25 euro, so that's about $30 for 25 kilos. So it's not that expensive like the oil bounded sand like Petrobond. It takes a while to get used to working with it. Clay powered casting or molding sand it's very difficult to carve out like channels and stuff like that, but most important step in metal casting in sand is experience. So I lacked a lot of experience, still lacking a lot of experience. If you see my YouTube channel, I have not done that much sand casting yet, but what I noticed the last couple of casts is that my casts were getting better and better, and it's not only the experience I'm getting from the sand casting, but I also improved my mulling technique. It's very important. If I show you the other batch of sand. So excuse me if this is a little bit a messy video, but I have no script or something. I'm just talking to you right now. If you look at this, when you compress the sand to make a mold shape, so we have a pattern, we put it in the sand and we just smash up the sand so it's get really packed. You'll get lumps like this, and this is just the compacted sand. But if you, I don't know if it's here, there are sometimes pieces of sand that come in direct contact with the hot metal, and as I stated, this sand contains a little bit of clay, so it will be just like baking pottery. It will get very hard, so it's very difficult to get all the sand soft again and mull it in the right consistency. So I was doing it by hand, and it took me sometimes up to 4 hours to prepare a batch of casting sand. So that was holding me back in the sand cast, and I really want to do something in sand, because only making ingots is fun, but after a while you want to have the metal flow in a cavity like like this in a cavity in the sand, and make some other shapes. So that's what I'm trying to do and what I'm learning still with my channel. So I hope you guys all enjoyed that journey with me. Yeah, but it's very difficult to get the right consistency. So I improved my mulling technique by let me show. Normally I had this device. Well, this is not a lot of power. It's an 18-volt battery. I tried to mull it with that, but it took me a lot of time. And I did not think it was right. I had this mulling hook. Well, this is not a mulling hook, of course, but it's to mix up concrete and stuff like that. So I upgraded to a new machine, which has a lot more power. It has a grip, so this is really enjoyable to just steer it around the sand. And what I notice is there is being much more, I think it's much more air being mulled through the sand. So I don't know if that is true, but I'm looking like this, like making whipped cream or something. And if you mull it right, there will be more air in the sand, it will be more moldable. Excuse me for my English, but what I mean to say, it's easier if you mull it right, have a good consistency, it will be easier to mold up a pattern. So that's what I'm wanting to say. So this video, I'm talking a lot, of course. I want to show my experience in how I prepare my casting sand, which helped me a lot for the future projects. It will take less time to prepare my casting sand. Yeah, so I will show you the steps. I have this batch has not been mulled. This sand here has been mulled for 4 or 5 minutes with no water added. Why adding water? The binding material in the sand is clay, of course. So, and if this stuff is dry, you can contact, there's still a little moist inside because I'm keeping it in the shed. And it's winter here, so a lot of moisture. And of course, when I do a casting project, sand once every 2 or 3 weeks, there will always be some moisture left in the sand. I do not keep it in a arid environment or in the sun, so a lot of moisture will just keep in the sand. But get back on the track. Yeah, I'm sorry, my 2-year-old son just came in the shed and was talking to me, so I lost a little bit of my my story. Yeah, so the binding material for the for this sand is of course the clay. So if you add some moisture, you will see if you have a good consistency, you can form it up in your hand and break off some clean lumps. So this is a little bit too dry. You can also see there are some, well, I already mulled this for 5 minutes or so. So there are tiny pieces like this. Come on, focus. Oh, I touched the phone. So there are tiny pieces of sand that did not get mulled, some bigger pieces. But essentially this is not really terrible, because when I do a project, I always, let me see, you can see it in my other videos. I always have a mesh in my molding box. That's my molding box over there with all the materials I need to mold. So I have my mesh, and I always, if I have something with details, I will always sift the sand. So there will not be that, yeah, I will sift it a little bit more. So if you can see, this is what stays behind in the mesh. There are a lot of stuff that is not prepared yet. But if you look at what's on top of the, here, this is very, very fine, very dust-like sand, because it's been sifted. So it's not that bad if there are still some lumps left. I always molding up my pattern using just a handful of sand going on top of my pattern, and sometimes with the help of a hand here, so you can push the lumps through the mesh. And if there are a lot of lumps, I will put them at one spot, grab it from another spot, some fresh sand, and repeat the process. So if you can see it here, I guess you can see that. There's a lot of fine sand here right now, so that's perfect for casting details. So I'm happy with this. I'm just an amateur caster, so I'm not an artist who has to make money on it. So I'm happy if this sand is very fine. You can see this is perfect for making some mold. All right, so this has been yeah, spinned around, I think 5 minutes. So mostly I do it 10 minutes, and from then on I will be adding some water, and it depends on how dry the sand is. If I do 1 bottle or 2 bottles, I will show the bottle later on, and then I will be ready to make a mold, or a mold in the sand. So let's first mold this sand a little bit more, and then I will start adding water. Alright, so I don't think that was a complete 5 minutes, maybe 3 minutes or so, but I think we're pretty on a decent way to have some casting sand. There's still some small, very small lumps, but I will start adding water. The biggest lumps will also vanish with adding some water. So these are the biggest pieces I have, I guess. It's about half an inch diameter, 1 centimeter. So you cannot always remove all lumps. Like I said, it's not too bad when there are some lumps in your sand, because you will make a sift. Yeah, you will sift your sand and it will. Alright, so I will add some water, and I have to say one thing. Maybe it was not only the technique I was using in the early days of the casting I did. The early days sounds like I'm doing it for ages, but when I started out casting with sand, it was maybe not only the technique I was lacking. But I think what a lot of people experience is the older your sand gets, so the more you cast with it, the better the sand gets. So now I improved my mulling technique. I call this mulling, but yeah, I think my sand much better than it is 1 year ago. Alright, let's add some water. And the water I will be, I have a spray bottle, so you have a spray of water. You don't want to have your water poured directly onto the sand in large quantities, because it will instantly start forming big lumps again. You have to mull it and mull it and mull it. So what I'm doing is just spray a little layer of water on it, mix it up, and then spray it again, mix it up, spray it again. So if I am preparing my casting sand, it takes me about 15 or 20 minutes total to make up a batch of about 25 kilos. So I really improved my time. I don't have a expensive mulling machine. I don't need anything if this consistency is good. So let's spray some water on it and start mulling again. I hope you guys like this video. Talking a lot, really a lot. I'm happy to explain some stuff I experienced, because I'm now doing the metal casting for over a year and a half, and so I'm not really experienced, but there are some things I just noticed I could do better, and I still can do it better, I guess. So this bottle This bottle contains maybe 150 milliliters. I don't know, not sure. Yeah, I think 150 or something. It's not a big bottle. If you compare it to my hand, it's not that big. So mostly I will be adding, if it's very dry, up to 3 bottles. So that would be 450 milliliters or almost half a liter. But I think maybe 2 will do. But I will mix this. Mix this scent now. It's been moisturized on the top. I'll mix it, check the consistency. But I will definitely add 1 bottle. So mix the top layer now. You can see it. The color difference. Hope you guys can see it because I still need to upgrade the lights in my shed. Yeah, you can see here the lighter scent because that's dry and this has been moisturized. So let's mix it up. So I mold it again for about a minute or something. So it should do the job of mixing the water with the dry sand a little bit. Because I'm not doing it once, I'm doing at least twice, adding some water. So mixing it up for another minute. So here goes some other layer of water. Come on, do it, bottle. So for everyone who is watching my channel and enjoys my content, make sure to subscribe to my channel. And yeah, if you have something to say, just leave a comment. Give this video a thumbs up if you like. And for the rest, just enjoy it. Yeah, so I hope that some people are inspired to also do some metal casting. A lot of my subscribers, oh, this bottle is almost empty. A lot of subscribers of my channel, of course, have the same hobby. Yeah, so I hope I can add something to the knowledge you need to do some sand cast. I'll refill this bottle. So adding the water is not a real science, just on how you want your sand to be. If you're happy with the consistency, you add it enough. Watch out you don't add too much water. You can watch some older videos from me, the summer series. You can see it on the screen right here now. So make sure to check out that summer series where I pour the copper and you see a lot of bubbling in the sand going on because I added way too much water. So like I said, I'm using a bottle of 150, maybe 200 milliliters, and mostly I'm adding 1 or 2 bottles to a already used batch. So like I said, the sand is sitting around for mostly up to 1 month, 4 weeks or something, before I start a new casting project with sand. And the top layer is maybe a little bit dry, but yeah, the other sand is always has some moisture left. So let's mix up this. And again, you can see it. We have some dark colored sand with the moisture. We will mix that with this. Alright, so let's check the consistency. It's getting very, yeah, this almost started to form some lumps when I just grab it. You can see here, I did not even squeeze it. So that means the consistency is getting to the point you want it. So we just take some in your hand, break it off, and this breaks very clean. So I'll be adding a little bit, just a tiny little bit more, because I will be molding up the sand tomorrow. Yeah. Got another project. Maybe some of you guys did notice already. Turn the camera a couple of times to show some stuff. But if you don't know what I'm going to be making, make sure to stay tuned to my channel. So hit that bell button so you won't miss out on that video. So next week's video will be a casting video. I would love to do a casting in this video, but I'm lacking a little bit of time. So I just preparing my casting sand. We'll do the casting in the weekend. We'll be molding it up tomorrow. Today is Thursday, so this video has to be online tomorrow. So today, of course, because today is Friday. I release a video every Friday, at least I try to. Doing my best, but I have a big family. Again, you can see I added some water to the top, so we'll mix that in, and I think we have a pretty decent casting sand then. So I'll be finished, and I will be molding this up tomorrow. There's no worries. I keep it in the shed. It's quite moisty outside because it's late autumn, so it won't evaporate a lot of added water. So here we go. Alright, so I think we are done. Yeah, this feels very soft. This is the right consistency. Very cleanly, so yeah, happy with this batch. So if you're wanting to also do some sand casting, just go for it. Don't be afraid. Of course, you need some experience with it, but you will build up experience by yourself just by doing it. I also started just watching some videos on YouTube. Now I'm making it myself, those videos. I'm not always successful with the metal casting, but that's the benefits of metals and having a furnace for that. If it's not successful, you just throw it back in the furnace and start all over again. Costs a little bit of time, but it's very satisfying when it comes out just the way you want it. Another video you can see is me casting the Ducati logo. Took me some times to get it and yeah, the way I want it. Eventually I casted the aluminium logo, and you could see all the lines with the wood in it. But yeah, it was perfect. Just I made the pattern myself. Yeah, cast it in aluminium. Was very satisfying. Oh, I can show you the pattern. So make sure to watch that video. Took me several times to make it. So here we have the Ducati logo. So I can make it again. And who knows, I might do it again. So I made this entirely myself. I'm not that a great craftsman. So, but I'm quite happy with this logo. Alright, so if you want to do some sand casting, you can make it yourself by sifting some playing sand. You can just buy it from the home store, Home Depot, or how do you call it in the US? Yeah, the shops where you do your buying for your home improvement stuff. So you can just buy some sand, sift it with a very fine mesh. You only keep the very fine sand, of course. And you add, I think it was 10% by weight bentonite clay. So if you make a big batch of 50 pounds of casting sand, you have to add 5 pounds bentonite clay. I already looked into that here in Holland. If I want to buy that, I also pay, I guess it was €25 for 25 kilos of bentonite clay, and the playing sand is 25 kilos for €4 or something. So I can easily make a batch for under €10. This would cost me no more than €10, I guess. So I pay €25 for this, but it's already pre-made. It's very fine sand, and I start to love it more and more. You can see it how I'm now just throwing it here. You can see it's very fine again. So yeah, the technique with the with this hook here, that's normally to mix up some concrete or something, works very fine for me. Another tip: if you have a batch made of casting sand and you're making something small in your molding box, you don't always use all your casting sand. So keep one batch with the ready to go casting sand. And here I have my second batch, and this is not molded yet, so got a lot of lumps. So if you have a project done, just throw your used sand in another container so that it's ready to mold. And if you want to have a lot of small projects, just keep one box with ready to go sand. Maybe you have to add some water, but you'll be ready to go within 5 minutes. So it saves a lot of time. That's my strategy right now. So I hope you guys found this video useful. No pouring today, but some other techniques used to do sand casting. Like I said, I'm not a pro or an expert on this, just on a learning process. And I wanted to share some stuff I now do to save some time, get better results. Yeah, because I have to say for myself, in my own opinion, I'm getting better and better. Still not the level I want, but it's a learning process all the way. It's very fun, costs a lot of time, but it's a hobby. So yeah, this is it. This sand is ready to start some sand casting. And again, if you want to see what I'm be making, watch out for next week's video. And I guess some of you guys already noticed what I'm going to make. This was it. A simple video about preparing casting sand. Already filming for almost 40 minutes. Like I said, normally this will be 20 minutes of work, but I'm talking a lot, explaining a lot, to edit a lot, because I don't think I'm going to show all the things I said. Yeah, so I thank you for watching. Hope you like this video. If so, give this video a thumbs up. Leave a comment. Let me know your experiences in the comment section. And make sure to subscribe to my channel. Be part of the adventure of casting. And yeah, I thank you for watching. Have a great weekend or a great week. And I'll see you next week. Bye bye.